This is Micah and Jim coming from Quickrev, and we want to talk about my 03 Cobra a little bit.
Absolutely. This has been an incredible build.
It has. It's been a lot of fun.
Oh, God, yes.
But dude, I came to you with this car, well, not even this car. I came to you with a black car almost 2 years ago.
Yep, convertible.
Said, Jim, let's do something. You're like, Mike, you know what would be cool is let's go twins on it. And it's just like, well, hell, I didn't even think of that idea. And then all of a sudden, it's just kind of blossomed into, well, what can we do for an intake manifold? You know, we were talking about hollowing out the stock supercharger and giving it to the stock appearing 4.6 Cobra motor, because no one other mom would ever assume that, you know, oh dude, he's got a stock blower on that car, and then all of a sudden they hear turbo spool up and say, what the hell?
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean that was our first initial plan. That way we wouldn't have to touch anything intake wise, no sensor removal, nothing. We just leave all that stuff there and we just blow the turbo straight through the supercharger. I mean, and now here we are.
Now we have a twin turbo 03 Cobra, twin 35Rs, Cobra, old school Cobra intake, 99 Cobra intake, which was a hell of an idea.
Oh yeah.
It's ported as well.
Yep, ported with an intake spacer.
4 fuel system, which is awesome.
Yep.
Injector dynamics injectors in it.
And then the fact that, you know, you go to 14, because I always set it up too, and you've always supported this as well, to make, you build the car based on, okay, this is how much power I'm going to make now, but if I ever want to make power in the future, set it up so that you never have to change that again. So like the fuel system's rated at 1400 horsepower, I'm not touching that yet. Soon enough, but I'm not touching that yet. So that's more fuel than we'll ever need, because I know that the very first time you tune a car, we ran out of fuel and...
We ran out of everything. Had to do the booster pump on it, had to end up... Basically, it tuned to about 6,500 RPM, and that was it. There was not a drop of fuel left in that car.
Yeah, that was done. If that would spike one time, that'd have been game over.
I'm like, Micah, just make sure you shift at like 62, 6,100. It'll be cool. You can do all your burnouts and everything you love to do, but just keep it under that.
Yeah, no, I don't think I ever saw redline on that setup either. And then now
and it worked, and it stayed together, so.
Yep, I mean, dude, I can't even count the number of times, you know, I'd have to call you and put in so much phone time with you, like, okay, Jim, here's what I think we should do. What do you think about it? And you're like, you know, here's what math I want to run. Well, okay, call this person, make sure that's good. Because, yeah, I think you should put this math on it too. He's like, I think it'd open you up to where you wouldn't have to max that out. So we took care of the math issue. And then ID 1000s was my first thing. I was like, yeah, let's go ID 1000s. Come to find out from you that they're actually not stainless and they're not rated for E85. So it's like, well, let's step it up again then. Let's go ID 1300s.
Go to the bigger injectors.
And it turns out I'm only at 70-some% duty cycle on those now. And I mean, that's on E85 and making mid 800 horsepower to the wheel.
And we had no idea with this car the amount of power that it was going to make. I was thinking, we're going to have to do cutouts on it.
Right.
The beauty of it is, we got to keep the whole 3-inch exhaust that you had bought before.
Quiet.
Looks great. Car sounds stock almost, driving around. Probably as quiet as a factory roots blown Cobra is.
Yeah.
And you got a great car to start with as a starting point and a building point too.
Oh yeah.
Red Fire is one of the most beautiful colors that you get in the Cobras. It's fairly rare too. They didn't make a ton of those with that color. And then the interior and everything in the car is nice. You started with a nice solid car. And then we got into all the other things.
Yeah.
Well, what about the clutch? Well, what about the transmission? So we go with the Magnum transmission, which is basically a 60-61 trans.
Right.
Go with that.
And a long ratio.
And a long ratio.
The turbos like that.
They like
extra
that
amount of room to where they can, you know, stay spooled up.
We need to get those babies spooled.
Exactly.
Because the motor,
keep them there.
The motor is 281 cubic inches. It's bone stock with stock cams and everything in it. So we need that motor to have a little time to get some boost into it.
Right.
So that we can get it moving.
Exactly.
Especially when you race other stuff that's instantaneous and has.
Trying to run blower cars is a lot like you let them think that they're going to win, and then they get that false moment of hope before the turbos spool up, and then it's just a freight train, man, and you're just riding the train past them.
That's,
I mean, that's
exactly
all it is.
Right.
I mean, those turbos spool up, and it's stupid. It's dumb. And it goes from nothing to everything all at once. See, there's no slow buildup. It's lag, 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 and then it hits boost, and it's like just a punch in the chest. And
Once it hits boost, the car pulls hard and continuously pulling hard all the way through.
Exactly.
From one end to the other.
You know, with that ratio, 355 stock gear in the rear end with that 266 long ratio Magnum in it, I mean, every time you shift it, it's right back into the boost. Those RPMs don't drop down enough to put it back into lag. So, I mean, no lift shifting helps out too. No lift shifting.
Oh, absolutely.
That's been, because I mean, it goes into gear like butter, and then just all of a sudden, just it's gear after gear after gear after gear, and you never leave boost the entire time. I mean,
it's really insane as to what all it took for you to have this car where it's at right now at this point.
And we're here now. Like I said earlier, 2 years, dude. Now we are literally, the car sat in the shop for a while, you know, I'm still gathering up parts, and then finally when I did deliver them all, I delivered literally a truckload.
Literally a truckload.
It took 3 people to unload in an hour to get all these parts out.
Thank you, Alec, with your Dodge.
Yeah, no kidding.
Which has a Pro Charger on it too.
Yeah, well, it's, you know, all the cars are boosted. You know, if you don't boost it, you're wasting your time. But it's like, literally 3 people unloading it. Took an hour to do it still. We filled up your entire front office. It was literally Micah's office for a while.
It was.
I had boxes
I walked
everywhere.
sideways through there.
Yeah, I had boxes everywhere. And then the stock parts that came off of it was basically another truckload back home because there's that much that we took off of that stock Cobra. I mean, I tried to get it as far as I could before I actually brought it to the shop, but there's just not enough room on the ground to lay down and take that cane number out of there.
And then the other thing that ended up working out, and this kind of was dumb luck as this worked. I said from the beginning, you were asking me about boost. It's like, so should I get a boost controller and then push these springs to whatever we want? And I said, no, get springs to where we can run the boost that we just want to run, basically. We want to run somewhere around 18 to 20 something pounds, low 20s of boost, 21, 22 PSI.
That's twisting. And you know what's funny though, actually, to touch on that, you had me buy the springs that were only supposed to be 18, roughly almost 19 pounds. And when it went to the dyno, it just so happened to make 22 pounds.
22
the first
PSI.
time that we ran it, with the boost controller plugged in, you know, closed all the way, so we weren't going to run any more boost in the springs. It made 24. So we unplug it, get rid of the boost controller altogether, and it put it right at 22. And thankfully, we were able to work with that on pump gas. That was my main goal. Which
was beautiful because we was able to work with that number on pump gas. So we kept it on pump, and it made, what was it, 731?
It made 736 wheel.
736 wheel.
689 foot-pounds.
And 689 foot-pounds on pump.
Right.
The other sweet thing was, didn't have to touch the boost controller.
No.
Just add E, just add timing.
That's all it took.
849.
Yep, first pull too.
First
pull.
I was absolutely floored.
Yep.
I'm thinking, we're going to be lucky to make 800 wheel.
Well, you guys were, I mean, everybody's face lit. I was like,
oh
it's...
my God.
Yeah, I was like, Jim, because I know that, and I'm sure you'll be able to see it maybe in some of the videos that people took of the dyno. I'm literally sitting there yelling your name as you're climbing out of the trunk, because it took 4 people just to keep the damn thing seated on the dyno. And I'm like yelling your name, Jim, 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 Jim. And you're like, what? And I said, 849. And just your face was like, what?
I about fell off.
Yeah, I'm like,
I fell out of the trunk.
Like, oh my God. 809 foot-pounds of torque. I'm like, you're like, dude, that's LS torque. And I'm like,
809 out of a 281 cubic inch engine.
Yeah.
Try that one.
Hit hard, pulls through all the way through.
Unbelievable. It was really unbelievable. We had a couple little hiccups. One hiccup, it kept blowing the pressure pipe off of the intake for whatever reason. And then, who was it that we sent down to the store?
It was my friend Brad down there just happened to be by a truck
They went
store.
to like the truck store, like Kenworth or something.
Get a clamp that would actually
got a constant velocity torque clamp, which ended up working, and then we put another clamp on that clamp.
Just 2 of them holding on, but I mean, it says that it works.
It works. It absolutely works, and
I mean,
it's never, knock on wood, blew off since then.
Yeah.
Since the dyno.
Need to knock on something because it blew off 10 times just that morning.
And then after that, we still got the 2 clamps on it because it worked.
It works. It works. It'll be back in the shop. I mean, I plan on bringing it back through so we can knock that out this winter time and address a couple other, little things. Unfortunately, my idle air control went bad on the dyno. So, I was running great, starting great the entire time. That's the only real hiccup I have at this point is It just takes a little longer to start. That's all
Yep.
it is.
The Ford IACs have a little bit of issues here and there. I mean, it is what it is. It's just something that goes bad.
But it works.
But it works. That's exactly right.
Well,
At this point, what are we waiting
look
for?
at it.
Let's go look at this
look
Cobra.
at it.
This Cobra's awesome.
well, Jim, we're taking our 2,000-mile road trip. Looking at driving everything from back roads of Marquis, Michigan, all the way to actually rolling half-mile races. So we're going to see what kind of
How awesome is that going to be?
We can only
It's
see.
like Micah's dream.
It's a roll car in general, really. It does
Yep.
great. It's lethal from a roll. It really is. So hoping to see what kind of mile per hour we can get out of the car. I think, man, us taking a Ford, which used to be a primarily LS shop,
Yep.
diving into a Cobra, and I think we killed our first attempt at building a Cobra.
This car is absolutely sick.
It doesn't get much better than this. It really
We're
doesn't.
incredibly proud at Quickrev of building this car. Many thanks to Dennis, Sam. Dennis spent a lot of time building this car. Probably what, a month and a half or two?
There were a lot of small details with oil lines and whatnot to get worked out.
But he did a great job in building it, and Quickrev is very proud of this car. And an 03-04 Cobra, which is like the creme de la creme of the Cobra world.
Right.
These are just awesome. So I can't thank you enough for giving me the opportunity to build it, Micah. Thank you as well.
Honestly, this is just a start. There's gonna be better things to come.
Oh, absolutely.
This car.
I believe that 100%.
We're gonna take this car a long way.
Thanks, Micah.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's an absolute blast.
Everything with wheels.
I'm not racing everything with wheels, but if a boat rolls up next to me on a road that's close to a river, I'm gonna try to send it. I can't guarantee that I won't try to shame a boat, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
Guess what it was? 721. 721. 721 is 671 Ford. Holy. God dang.
you know what to do with the like and subscribe. Smash it.
Hold on a minute on that. I got an idea.
Smash it.